In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add integers. Let's start by looking at a number line. Here's an easy example to help you understand the concept. Let's start with 1 plus 1. We all know that to be 2. Starting at 1, moving over 1 will give you 2. And as you can see, you have a positive number plus another positive number. That answer, also positive. So a positive plus a positive equals a positive. Let's move on to our next example. Three plus negative 2 equals what? So our starting point is 3, so let's mark it on 3. Now, going a negative amount means that we're taking away from that. We're moving to the left. Because as you can see at 0, to get to a negative, you're moving left. And the negatives get greater as you move to the left. So we're going to start at 3, go negative 1, and then go another negative 2. So 3 plus negative 2 is going to give us a positive 1. You can also rewrite 3 plus negative 2 as 3 minus 2 equals 1. Now, we had a positive plus a negative, and it gave us a positive. But why? It gave us a positive because this negative was less than the original positive. So because this number 2 was less than the number 3, we got that the positive plus the negative equaled still a positive. Let's look at another example. Four plus negative 5 equals what? So let's start at 4, and we're going negative 5. So that's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. 4 plus negative 5 equals negative 1. We can rewrite this as 4 minus 5 equals negative 1. Because when you add a negative, you're really subtracting the positive of that negative. So now, we had a positive plus a negative, but that equaled a negative. And that is because the 5, just the number 5, is greater than the number 4. Although negative 5 is technically less than negative 4, on the number line you can see negative 5 is all the way over here and 4 is right here. Although this negative 5 is less than 4, 5, this actual number 5, is greater than 4. And that is what gives us that the positive plus the negative is still negative. Let's look at one more example. Negative 2 plus negative 2 equals what? Well, we're starting here at negative 2, and we're going negative 1, negative 2. So negative 2 plus a negative 2 equals negative 4. This is the same thing as saying negative 2 minus a positive 2 equals negative 4. Because when you're adding a negative, you're really taking away that whole number. So from this, you can see that a negative plus a negative will equal a negative. A good note to remember, when adding integers, a positive plus a positive is always going to equal a positive. A positive plus a negative is going to equal positive if the positive value is greater than the absolute value of the negative number. For example, that would be 3 plus negative 2. 3 is greater than the absolute value of negative 2, which is 2. Therefore, your answer will be positive. A positive plus a negative is negative if the positive is less than the absolute value of the negative. So say we're looking at, let's do 4 and negative 5. 4 plus negative 5. 4 is less than the absolute value of negative 5 because the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, and we know that 4 is less than 5. Therefore, you're going to get a negative number when you add that positive and negative. And a negative plus a negative is always a negative.